My name's Sir Mark Grundy, I'm the Executive Principal here at Shireland. We're standing in our immersive space, which took about 2 years in its planning. As we had our new building, which we received as part of the Academy programme, we looked at what we wanted and we decided we wanted something that actually we could have to use flexibly, would have a wow factor with kids, but most of all would raise standards. And this is it. And pretty much every day this room metamorphosises into something different. So on Monday it can be something to do with the Battle of Agincourt and Henry V. On Tuesday it can be a jungle. On Wednesday it can be a performance space for a musician who's come in to work with our youngsters. And we've never had anything like this, that actually I could bring youngsters all the way from year 7 all the way through to year 13, and it would make that difference to them in terms of how they felt about their learning. But I don't think it's just a secondary thing. You know, you could put this as easily into a primary environment. To be honest, as much as it inspires our staff, you know, you put an environment like this in the hands of gifted teaching staff and non-teaching staff, and they'll make it something that stimulates kids to want to learn.
My name is Kirsty Tonks and I'm Assistant Principal at Shireland Collegiate Academy with responsibility for e-learning. The history of the Immersive Room, well, that came about, I suppose, about 6 or 7 years ago. I went and visited Iron Bridge Gorge Museum in Telford, and they just had a brand new reception fitted, and it had lots of projection screens projecting. It had the sound, it had the smells of what it was like in the Industrial Revolution, and different videos going on at the same time. And it was kind of a wow experience when you went in at that initially. It kind of set up the whole Iron Bridge Gorge Museum. So we just wanted to have somewhere that in a similar way at school we could immerse our students into an experience that they would be able to see, smell, feel as though they were there and part of. So we worked with a company to look at how we could replicate what we'd seen, or at least kind of take the concept and adapt it to this room that we're in today.
Hi, my name is Arrington. My main role here at Shireland is the creation of new content for the Immersive Room. The content is generally an idea or a lesson that the teacher has come up with and that they want to run in the Immersive Room. They'll come to me and we'll have a meeting and a discussion about how feasible it is and where we can develop the idea further. Following on from the meeting, I will take my notes and I'll use programs like Adobe After Effects and Photoshop to create a video or whatever content was designed to fill this space. The decision to use the Adobe Suite was made because there are a set of programs that can easily handle the large aspect ratio of the room. Adobe After Effects is also incredibly flexible in how it allows you to manipulate footage and effects.
Hi, my name's Danielle Hayes. I am a teacher of history and of Year 8 at L4L. We've used the Immersive Room loads of times, especially in L4L. For example, with some of the themes like Da Vinci, we've had things like art galleries where students have gone in and experienced an art gallery. In Journey to the Centre of the Earth, we had the eruption of Vesuvius and the destruction of Pompeii. In 60s and 70s, we had disco and music happening so the students could experience the fun side of the 60s and 70s. And in our theme tragedy, we looked at Google Earth, where we went into different countries and looked at how different countries were affected during World War II.
I'm Mo Cusworthy-Affe and I am the Head of Curriculum Key Stage 3. In designing the curriculum, we've used the Immersive Room on several occasions. What we aim for is 1 or 2 experiences per theme. And so Year 7 and 8, and to a certain extent Year 9, have used the immersive space several times since we've had it.
I don't think that this type of room and this type of experience is specific for secondary. Certainly we've had primary children come in and experience a Victorian street. We've had primary children come in and take part in a Minecraft day where they are building their own world around them, not just on the screen in front of them. So I don't think this is just something that is particular to secondary students. I think this is of all ages. I'd love to see how we could use this room for nursery age children and looking at creating a jungle experience, for example. But we've also used this with parents. I mean, this room is actually used for parents' evening, because what we're able to do is display on the wall samples of students' work, whether that's artwork or their writing or photographs of them in lessons, and parents are able to come and walk around and look at what their child has been doing, their learning experience here at Shireland.
I'm Anne Perney, I'm a teacher of mathematics. I also teach literacy for life and generally work with Year 8. One of my favourite projects was the Da Vinci project that we did. Students are looking at portrait work, which were mainly oil paintings, so proportions there because they actually reproduce their own portraits. They look at some of Da Vinci's sketches, which were his study of anatomy and also some of his inventions. So we thought it would be fantastic if the students were able to actually visit an exhibition. What was interesting to see is that although the students weren't actually in an art gallery, they were totally immersed. Once they walked in, they were actually in awe and started behaving as they would in an actual art gallery.
I think when students enter for the first time, and in fact not just students, I think anybody who comes into this room, it's got to be a wow. I think even then after that, after the first time they've been in, because you can make this room whatever you want it to be, it isn't just about the first time wow. They can come in the second time and have a completely different experience, and it's a different wow. But it certainly is looking at their faces when they're sitting on the floor and they can actually see Google Earth and they can see where Shireland Collegiate Academy is, and then it zooms out and then suddenly you're looking at the Earth from space. Just seeing their faces and realising where they are in relation to the planet, just something as simple as that, I think is just amazing.
One of the things that was really, really good, I've already mentioned it previously, was the Journey to the Centre of the Earth one. There we had things flying at us. The students were able to hear it, they were able to see it, they were able to smell it, they were able to experience it in ways that we could never have done without the Immersive Room. We then got the students to write a descriptive piece, and their descriptive writing was so much more imaginative because they had experienced it here first.
I mean, we're only just starting our journey on how to use this room in learning, and I think as teachers have started to get their head around how they can use this space, I think we're only just at the beginning of the journey with this, but certainly in terms of raising levels of engagement, I mean, bringing students in and being able to submerge them. And it is about creating that sort of sense of awe and wonder in the pupils and providing a really high quality stimulus to their learning where it grabs them and they want to go back and find out more.
In the future, one of the ideas that we've got are the World War I trench experiences. So we want to get trenches up, we want to have no man's land so that students could experience life in the trenches. We've got ideas about India, where we want to look at the rich and the poor and look at the contrast and the comparison between the rich and the poor. Perhaps use Google Street View to do that. So we've got loads and loads of exciting ideas for the future as well.
Our use of the Immersive Room is actually in its infancy, but we have a very strong technical team behind us here at Shireland. And what we're trying to do at the moment is build up a bank of resources that will enable us to deliver the curriculum in a unique and fulfilling way. And what we're finding is it's as powerful as our creativity and imagination will allow.
As I said at the beginning of this, we're only scratching the surface of how we can use this room. I mean, as teachers are getting used to how they can use it, they're coming up with phenomenal ideas. We've had fantastic maths lessons in here where they have been using and looking at the Dubai landscape and looking at proportion and ratio and being able to work out the height of buildings and estimating. You know, that's something when we envisioned this room, we didn't think of it being used in that particular way, but one teacher did.
So of all the things that we've created in Shireland, I suspect this immersive space has actually created more of a conversation and far more of a momentum to actually get people to work with youngsters to learn in a different way than any other physical facility that we've created. And then when you overlay the technology and the staff that we have, because I've got very, very lucky here, we've got an e-learning team who produce amazing content, which then takes this and transforms it into something that actually lets kids get things. So would I recommend this to anybody? Absolutely. Do I think it crosses year groups? Absolutely. And have we ever regretted investing the money that we have in this? Absolutely not.
Watch this space.